Silly to jump it up as Dewana and NC State control the tip. NC State in the home white uniforms. Wright State didn't go with the hunter green, going with the road black as Cam Hayes is off the mark with his first three. We got a whistle underneath as Dewana was knocked over by A.J. Braun.
And talking with Coach Nagy yesterday, he's going to make NC State beat them from outside. Doesn't want to give them easy twos in the paint.
Wolfpack 7-4. Happy to be back home. Just played in Charlotte last time out as Terquavion Smith picks up right where he left off.
I tell you, that freshman is special. Great athlete, always hungry, always ready to go. Here you see NC State with a little pressure, and Wright State really needs to do a good job of handling the ball because that's where NC State has a big advantage.
This is Tim Finke picks up his dribble. 15 on the shot clock. Dewana's going to be whistled. Trey Calvin will head to the line to shoot two. You see what that full court pressure does, though. It keeps a Wright State team that likes to go fast. They initiate their offense a little later and get deeper into the shot clock than maybe they'd prefer.
You know, a lot of times you don't realize that presses aren't always to create steals and get easy buckets. It's for tempo, and also by the time they get the ball in the front court, you know, they've got to get into their set right away. So a press can do a lot of different things.
Both free throws go down for Trey Calvin. 2-2 as we get a look at the NC State starting lineup, and they're happy to have Casey Morsell back, his third game back. Smith a little out of control. Wright State 3-7. Coach Nagy, as they turn it over here, telling us it's been his toughest non-conference schedule ever. Smith an air ball on a wide open three-pointer, but Helms will reset the possession.
Just smart. Real smart of Jericho to pull the ball out and not force anything.
And a slow start offensively for the Wolfpack. We expect the tempo of this game to be pretty good. Both teams like to get up and down, and Vasily at 6'9" can step out and do that.
I tell you, they have not shot the ball well early in the year. That's Wright State. So if they can get off shooting the ball well early, they can make a game of this.
Yes, they come in 3-7, frustrated entering today's game with how the season's gone so far, but a big reason that Coach Nagy, as you'll see him here, big reason why he scheduled that tough schedule is because he had so many veterans back. He felt like he had the talent to do it.
You know, when you have the veterans, you want to schedule tough teams, and you know, he has four juniors that are starters. You would think that they'd be ready to play, but early on they have not gotten off to a good start this year.
Good defensive set here. Helms forced to create with 5 on the clock. Well, they save it underneath their own basket, and that'll go down as another offensive rebound, if you will.
Good hustle play. Cam Hayes came up with it.
One-on-one, a little bully ball by the freshman Terquavion Smith.
I tell you, he's not the biggest guy in stature, but I tell you what, he plays hard. He's fearless out there. He's going to get better and better as the year goes on as well.
He had a 4-inch size advantage there on Trey Calvin. Made it work for him. He's got all 4 of NC State's points so far. Vasily using his physicality, and a nice start for the redshirt junior from Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yeah, Vasily has good size. When he gets Helms that low down in the low post, somebody from NC State needs to give him a little bit of help, because that's a tough matchup for Jericho Helms.
Smith right to the rack for 2 more.
I tell you, he can score, he can hit jumpers, he can slash to the bucket, has a great floater game. He's got a number of different things in his repertoire.
We go inside to the freshman, Braun. So he can use either hand well. He goes with the left at that time and had his shot bothered.
Dewana did a good job of holding tight, not fouling, and that's what they need from Dewana and Gibson, just good solid minutes.
Well, that time Braun got the better of Smith, and this one will be thrown ahead of Fink. You know, he saved it. Layup won't fall. It'll be Graham and NC State University. Feel like they can finally move forward. And so that was some big news as a cloud that was over the program for the last 4 years, and finally a conclusion for NC State.
I think everybody's happy that the NCAA finally came out 4 years later with the ruling, but it's good for the kids. They're able to go just play and have fun. They know what little sanctions there's going to be. Also helps NC State as far as recruiting. I mean, it has been a dark cloud over their head. And you imagine going on a recruiting trail and everybody's trying to, tell you what's going to happen. And, kids end up making decisions based off of that. So I think everybody at NC State very happy with the outcome of the decision.
Yeah, where there was uncertainty, they now have an answer. These are the sanctions levied by the NCAA, and majority of them recruiting related.
Yeah, it's very, very minor, things that they came down. It's kind of like when I was in school, I'd take a math test. I just wanted it to be over. No matter what the grade was, it was over, it was done with. But, Coach Keats certainly, happy that now he can go forward, doesn't have to play defense, he's playing offense.
I have to imagine you were pretty good at math.
And I was able to count. I'll tell you, I was one of those kids, I never missed the class. And I always thought if I went to class, the teachers were going to give me a fair shake. So
you had a lot of assists to count, is what I was figuring. Good steal here by Finke. Calvin on the run out. And there's the effect of E.B. Duane. It's not going to go down as a block shot, but they know the scouting report, and he impacts the game.
What I like about that so much, Andrew, is he didn't foul. He just kept his ground. Again, they need minutes out of E.B. Duane and Gibson. So far early in the game, they're providing good minutes.
Speaking of good minutes, Terquavion Smith is the back-to-back ACC Freshman of the Week, but he's scoring like a veteran.
He has great confidence. We mentioned earlier he's fearless, but you don't see many freshmen that really believe that they belong.
He's got all 8 of NC State's points. He's taken 8 shots, not shy. Here's Darion Sebron.
It's amazing what he's done. If you think back last year, early in the year, he wasn't even playing. The emergence so far, he's become one of the best players in the conference, and if you would have thought about that last year, you would have thought someone was crazy if they said that.
Helms hits the deck hard as Basili is trying to keep up with Terquavion Smith in scoring. He lays in another. He'll go to the line for one more.
You can't say enough about Sebron. I mean, he's leading them in scoring. He's sharing the ball. He's getting assists, steals. He's really doing everything out there on the court. The thing I'm probably most impressed with is his leadership. I mean, he is leading the team not only in all those categories, but on the court.
So one shot for Basili here, who's got 7 points. That, by the way, the first foul on Helland, second team foul. And Basili's got 8 quick ones as well, as he'll check out here momentarily. He'll bring in C.J. Wilborn. But yeah, you talk about Darion Sebron and you say you can't say enough about him. I thought this was a really interesting quote from Wright State head coach Scott Nagy. He said Darion Sebron's the best player that we've seen this year, which is a compliment already. Then you think about the schedule that they've played as Finke picks up another steal. They played Purdue also. A dunk by Tanner Holden, and Wright State leads again.
I tell you, Finke with the slowed down just enough to be able to slip the bounce pass in there for Holden for the dunk.
Thomas Allen subbed in for Terquavion Smith a moment ago. Good ball movement by the Pack leads to a Morcell corner 3 that was halfway down and out. Norris. Pull up won't fall for Holden. Good flow in this game so far. I think NC State's getting the shots they want right now, back-to-back, not falling.
They are. They're getting good ball movement. They're getting good looks. Wright State's backing off of them so that making them go to the bucket. They don't want to give them anything easy.
Tough move by Wilborn. And Duane, well done to throw it off of the forward for Wright State.
Duane's done a great job, again, not fouling. We talked to Coach Nagy yesterday. he said NC State gets to the foul line a number of times. He wanted to keep that down. At the same time, he wanted to get to the line, but when Ibi Dewana's playing good, smart defense, that's exactly what Coach Keats wants.
Dewana will get a breather right now, as will Casey Morcell. So Smith is back in. Jalen Gibson makes his debut in tonight's game. Hayes took a lot of contact there, and active hands by Holden. And we've seen Wright State, Coach Nagy has not been happy with their defense at the start of the season, but so far the intensity is there.
They've got active legs, active hands. They've got to be real pleased right now because, again, they have not played well early in the year. They've come here tonight looking for an upset.
Tough shot by Allen, hanging, won't go. And that'll be a turnover.
Those are off to a good start. If you're wearing 0, you've got to have a little swag. And both those guys got a little swag, especially tonight.
Some guys like to wear it, put a chip on their shoulder.
Exactly. It's working for them tonight. You can see how they're playing Ibi Dewana. The defense is just packed in. They just want to make it very difficult.
Count the basket for Jericho Helms. And that was difficult. He took some contact.
He's the guy that really, I think, Coach Keats wants to see get going. Gets it, very patient, deliberate, gets a little bump, strong enough to finish. That's a shot a couple years ago, might not have been able to make, but he's done a great job of getting stronger over the years.
He's a good free throw shooter, 81%, but he missed that one. But Helms averaging 14.5 points per year. His game has continued to grow. He's the only 4-year senior on this team. He still can shoot that shot, so Gibson had to come out and guard him. Now he goes to work. And there's the leading score. Holden with the triple.
Basile did a nice job, just very patient, getting the ball down low. It wasn't pretty, but he found him in the corner for 3.
Helms can't answer. Gibson misses from point-blank range. A lot of freedom for this Raider offense. Felt like coming into the season, offense would never be a problem, had never been in the past. They bring back a ton of experience. That's off the mark, and it has been to this point. How did that pass get through?
Oh, wow. Wow, I'll tell you what, Jalen Gibson did a great job just catching that ball, flicking it back in. He didn't even have any idea Helms was there, but it turned out great for the Wolfpack.
Dangerous pass turns into a layup.
Wright State doing a really nice job. They were using the whole floor through a skip pass. Somebody was wide open, a little breakdown underneath for NC State.
Tough shot for Hayes. Strong box out by Basile. Nice find. Mans up and under. That is attributed to the tough schedule. Yeah, but some of that is just they haven't played their best ball yet.
I think that they were expected to be good. Supposed to finish second in the conference. They had a number of returning players. They just didn't get off to a good start, but I'll certainly have gotten off to a good start tonight.
And when you're tested through 10 games, they've already played 2 conference games, 1-1 right now in the Horizon League. They're looking at this as an opportunity on the road at an ACC team for what was a frustrating non-conference schedule so far. Double digits for Basile now. Look, that cannot completely be erased with a win here today, but it would change a lot of their feelings of the non-conference if they can get an ACC win.
It would be huge for them to come in and beat NC State. It'd also be a great Christmas present for all of Wright State and certainly Coach Nagy. Not a good looking shot there. I tell you, Wright State's packing it in. and they're forcing NC State to make shots. Not only are they not making shots, they're taking bad ones.
Good hands by Sebron to poke that one away. And that's where NC State, when you're struggling offensively, a transition bucket or two makes a big difference.
Okay, he's got a lot of tricks in his bag. He can score so many different ways. You know, again, his floater, when he gets in the lane, you know, he does a lot of damage with that.
Holding on the block. Elam's got all ball.
Tough one.
That's a heat check from Terquavion Smith.
That's when you go, no, no, no. Oh, great shot, great shot.
Smith has 13 first half points. Vasili's got 10 though. Make it 12. Too easy. Just rare ability to score the ball at an elite level.
No question. He scores in so many different ways. Tremendous athlete. I mean, he was a two-sport star at Farmville Central, and you know, his game translates at a very high level. He does a little bit of everything, but the thing that I love about him is he's just so confident. He believes that he belongs out there.
Well, Hellam's got up in the air, didn't know where to go with it. Sebron's got to put it up with 2 to shoot. And a push called on Finke. Finke, the top perimeter defender for Wright State. They're counting on him tonight to guard Darion Sebron. He's been quiet so far. Sebron with just 2 points. Keep an eye, though. Finke missed practice yesterday due to back spasms. And so it's Holden actually guarding him now, and it's Holden who runs into Dewana, who's called for the moving screen.
You know, I think Coach Pete's called a set play for Darion Sebron, wants to get him going. Sebron really needs to get going downhill with the ball. That's when he's most effective and almost impossible to guard. But they haven't been able to get many rebounds so that the Pack can get out and run.
That's well done by Calvin, just inside the ACC logo.
Yeah, very under control.
Orcel with a quick answer.
And that's the tempo NC State wants. When Wright State score, they want to just get it right back in and create that fast tempo.
Vasili having a good night so far. Dish it out. Side to the freshman, Braun. And it'll be NC State basketball.
I tell you, Vasili's a tough matchup because he can step out and knock down the three. And when he gets the ball down low and he's very patient and bangs, it's a tough matchup for E.B. Dewana.
Second team All-Horizon League last year, preseason first team. And it sounds funny to say he maybe hasn't quite lived up to expectations yet, because we're talking about a guy who averages 17.5 and 9 rebounds a game. That's just how high his ceiling is. Speaking of a high ceiling, 15 for Smith.
I'll tell you, he makes shots that you wonder even how he can get the shot off, let alone go in.
Open three for Finke. Boy, that is his shot.
Yeah, Finke had a good look. Vasili with the ball down low, nice skip pass. And that's the kind of shots Coach Nagy will take. Good open shots. You'd like to see them fall.
He likes to have offensive freedom, but hasn't been 100% pleased with his team's shot selection this year. That's a shot any coach will take. Top of the key, wide open, buried by Helms.
Sebron with a nice job curling off the screen to find Helms for the open three. Kind of feel NC State kind of getting a little momentum of this game here. Just too low. Just two dribbles. Somebody at NC State needs to dig in. Wright State right now is just backing NC State down and scoring easy buckets.
Smith three, one of the few he's missed tonight. Offensive refresh for Helms. Blocked by Braun. Second effort, and DeWan is there.
That's nice. Good effort by Darian Sebron to get the offensive rebound, and then he threw it up. And E.B. DeWan is really having a nice first half.
Smith called for his first foul.
Good second effort by Sebron, and E.B. DeWan cleaning it up at the rim.
He doesn't give NC State a ton of offense. They don't need a ton of offense from him. He's replacing Manny Bates, and in terms of shot blocking, it's impossible to completely replace Manny Bates, but he's doing his best impression, isn't he?
You know, he's getting better and better every game, too. I mean, no one thought that E.B. DeWan was going to get these kind of minutes. And if you're an NC State fan, you got to think, if Manny Bates is out on the court, not only is he blocking shots, but he's creating difficult shots. I mean, he is a game changer. Him being out is very difficult for NC State.
Another deep catch for Basili. Missed the bunny, but there's Braun.
I tell you, they're battling inside. He's crafty, and then when Basili gets the ball down, he's a good passer, can step out and shoot threes.
Finke with his third steal of the first half. That one really a gift. And it'll be two.
Need a little bit of help from my friends, and Morcell's one of those guys that really needs to step up and help Sebron with the scoring load along with Jericho Helms.
I did not expect a Beatles quote from you tonight, but well done.
Just showing my age.
Here's number one for NC State.
Number one.
That was their album where they had all the number ones. That was a very disguised Beatles reference for you, Chris. I apologize. Morcell going up strong. He'll shoot two.
Casey, he's a really strong player, uses his body. A lot of times when he's going in the lane, he's always head faking because he knows a little bit of contact's not going to bother him, but did a real nice job right there getting to the line.
Morcell comes to NC State, of course, after 2 years at UVA. Next Wednesday, the Huddle will be live in Atlanta to preview the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl between Pitt and Michigan State. Plus, they'll have highlights, analysis, interviews, and everything else for the bowl games of that day between SMU and Virginia, Maryland and Virginia Tech, Clemson and Iowa State. Coverage is from 7:30 to 8 Eastern, then from 10 to 11 Eastern on ACC Network and the ESPN app. And sometimes when you need to get going to the free throw line might be the easiest way to do that. Morcell puts them both in.
I tell you, Wright State's done a great job of handling the NC State pressure. It really hasn't affected them much at all the first half. So they need help down there. Again, Andrew, it's so low down there. It's like it's one-on-one, and he's just too many dribbles. You can let a big guy go with a couple of dribbles, but you can't let him just keep backing in.
Three rattles out for Smith, and even up against a premier shot blocker like DeWan, and not a whole lot he could do there against Braun. Good feed inside. Well, wave it away. And there's the X factor. Morcell draws the charge.
Yeah, he does a little bit of everything. I don't like that call, though. I mean, it didn't have a whole lot to do with the play. He stood in there and took it, but you know, that's one of those calls I wish that they wouldn't make.
I agree with you in that I think there are too many charges in the game right now.
And I like the charge call when there's contact and it really affects the play. Okay, Sebron doing what he does is just when he has the ball and he's going downhill, he's hard to stop. He's really good with his offhand finishing at the basket.
He's a big reason why NC State 5th in the country in free throw attempts this season.
You know, he's a defensive nightmare because everything he gets, he's coming to you. He's forcing the action. He's at the rim. And a lot of times the only way to stop him is foul him.
This will be his 79th free throw of the year. He gets 1 of 2.
Helms with a nice strip. That's what you want your leader to do, to go in there, get an offensive strip, score. And, with 2 minutes to go, NC State would love to be able to finish strong here.
An unconventional three-point possession for the Wolfpack to cut it to 2. And there's another offensive foul as Helms was bumped by Basili.
Helms coming up both on the offensive and defensive side. Wright State has really done a nice job in the first half for the first 18 minutes of taking care of the basketball, kind of getting exactly what they want on the offensive end. But I'm sure Coach Nagy would love to have a lead going into the locker room.
On a player control foul like that, of course, no free throws, but NC State will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Some foul trouble for Wright State. Both Braun and Finke have 2. Sebron's not going to miss that one too often, but he does there. Under 90 seconds to play. And a transition 3 for Calvin. That's a good look. Deep 3. Nothing but nylon.
He's got it going here in the last couple minutes. He's doing it on both ends of the court. Jericho Helms really showing out here late in the first half.
Steals, drawing charges, knocking down threes, strips Braun this time. And Morcell, man, Wright State is hollering right now that Norris just took a charge themselves. They might have a good case.
They've got a case because it happened down at this end, but Wright State didn't get the call at the other. Coach Nagy not happy about that. A lot of times coaches, they just want it to be consistent. They may not like it, but they want it consistent.
I think he's got a good argument there. So Morcell back to the line where he's had success.
I'll tell you, the combination between Helms and Morcell, both on the defensive and offensive end, have really got NC State going here in the last 2 or 3 minutes. To the point now they have a 2-point lead.
Jaquavion Smith comes out. Breon Pass, the freshman, will replace him. Play a little defense here. 4-4 from the line for Morcell. And that allows NC State to set up its full court pressure. Wright State could go 2 for 1 if they go quickly here. Trailing by 3.
Calvin,
6 points for Calvin, and NC State can essentially hold the last shot if they choose to do so.
Yep. Coach Keats wants Sebron with the ball. He's either going to get a good bucket or get to the line. That's what he's done pretty much all year.
They run ISO for him. Andrew Welledge defending it. Finds Pass, wide open 3. Another offensive rebound. Not 37%, but 10 offensive rebounds.
Yeah, they've got to clean that up. But Wright State's got to be real happy with a first half in the game, on the road. NC State, on the other hand, they need to get the ball. They need some easy buckets, long rebound steals. That's where Darian Sebron's at his best, when he's coming at you with a head of steam.
Finke. He's the leading three-point shooter on the team, but that one won't go. A Raider offensive rebound. Blocked by Smith initially, right to Basili.
Wright State's getting all the 50-50 balls, the little hustle plays. There they got 2 extra possessions because of the offensive rebounds.
Something they didn't do much of in the first half, had just 2. So that equals their entire total through 20 minutes of first half action. And maybe a point of emphasis for Coach Nagy. Same starting 5 for both teams. Begins the second half.
Cam Hayes has been quiet. He's got to try to look for his shot. See if he can't hit a 3-pointer.
Speaking of, there's Smith, back iron. And that'll be a foul on Helms. You mentioned Cam Hayes. He's really the only NC State player that had foul trouble in the first half. He's got 2. But with that foul on Helms, that is his second.
Well, this has been the key to the game right here, is they've done a real nice job handling the pressure, getting the ball in the front court. The pressure has not really affected them.
Calvin looking inside to Basile on that right block. Gets a return pass, he'll shoot the tray. Tough shot.
Hey, he was cooking late in the second half, and it's carrying over to the beginning of the second half.
Calvin just fell down. Lucky he didn't travel. And again, think he, as well as he's played defensively, his offense just not there right now. Sebron stripped. And a long outlet. But when the shot's not falling, that'll help.
It's always nice to get a leak out easy bucket. When Sebron's going to the bucket, they're backing off of him, making it very difficult.
Big show by Basile. And another turnover given right back. Well, Sebron just got swarmed by 3 Raiders.
Yeah, when he gets the ball, they're all converging on him, and he's getting a little frustrated out there. Hasn't had the type of game that we've been accustomed to seeing.
Well, sloppy here at the start for both teams in the second half. Good ball movement. And there's A.J. Braun.
I tell you, Braun's doing a nice job. It's his second offensive rebound, and they're just beating NC State to a lot of balls.
Coach Nagy decided to insert the freshman into the starting lineup last handful of games. Likes just to have his size out there, and he can score with either hand. Braun with 8 points and 8 rebounds. Big 3 by Basile. Give him 19.
That's the problem for NC State. Basile can do it from inside, and then he steps out.
Run the last minute and a half, leading NC State head coach Kevin Keats to call his second timeout. Pack trailing by 6 here at home. Long 2 for Smith. Hey, why not?
Tell you, this is exactly what Wright State wanted, to come out the second half and really jump on NC State. NC State had the momentum, late in the first half, but Wright State said, you know what, we're not folding up. We're here to try to win this game.
A big 3 by Basile. There's Braun. Open 3, Calvin. Yes. That 3 by Basile is a difference maker. That's the second 3 he's knocked down tonight, and he came in as just a 15%, not 50, 15% three-point shooter, but he's at 50 tonight. And as you said, whether he's inside or outside, if he can add that.
Get in the second half and you got a 7-point lead, you start believing you can win. Oh, great play out of the timeout. Coach Nagy just drew up a real nice pick the picker for an easy bucket underneath. Well done.
Largest lead of the night for the Raiders. It's now 9. Smith down the left side of the lane. Boy, is he smooth. It's 5-on-4 right now as Smith got poked in the mouth, I believe. Now he gets back defensively, but Braun, oh, he stuffed himself on the side of the backboard. How about that? It goes from bad to great in about 2 seconds. That was a little embarrassing for Braun, and now he's got an and-one opportunity.
You know what? Give him credit for really hustling. He got stuffed by the backboard. A lot of people would have stopped on the play. Here you see him get stuffed. He hustled, regained position, and went up strong for the bucket.
Double-digit lead now. Darion Sebron's been very quiet for NC State. Smith trying to do it himself. Yes.
Tell you, he's capable. That guy can get it going. Coach Keats needs a big dose of that here in the next 14-42.
Well, he keeps this up, and he's already well on his way to being three-time ACC Freshman of the Week. Calvin down the lane, bothered by Duwana. Basili, probably goaltending, I think, but they're going to say it's a missed shot.
Oh, yeah, that's what the Wright State coaches want, that goaltending call. Tell you, E.B. Duwana's not going to get credit for a rebound there, but he attacked the offensive glass and created possession. Here you see.
So Basili won the volleyball, and then on replay, Duwana got it clean.
Look good. Wright State's big men, they just go to the offensive glass. It's been the difference of two halves. First half.
And how about this, an offensive foul? A careless turnover for NC State. Not sure who they called it on yet. It's on Smith. That's his second. But it sure does seem like that's a point of emphasis, the offensive rebound.
Oh, yeah. You know, the first half you didn't see a whole lot of it. The second half they pounded the glass early on and created a lot of easy scoring opportunities.
Holden with another one, the short corner jumper. He's into double figures with 11. And another turnover, and this is panic time now for NC State.
You know, if there's one criticism to Kirby and Smith, is sometimes he tries to do something too fast. You know, let the game just sink in. They're, you know, a little quick on the offensive end, and Coach Keats is going to talk to him.
Well, as we talked about earlier, because scoring comes so effortlessly for him, it's easy to forget this is his 12th collegiate game. And he's still a freshman.
You're going to get some good, and you're going to get some bad, but you know you're going to get that with all freshmen.
Well, as you said earlier, you made a Beatles reference. He's kind of been the one-man band right now. He needs some help with, you know, Helms has 14, but Sebron just 3, Morcell with 6, Duwana with 2. Cam Hayes has not scored. And right now, NC State can't get a stop. The Raiders going to work. The lead is 11.
I tell you, Andrew, they're putting 4 players on one side, and they're just isolating, going one-on-one. When you got your best player like Holden there, you know, you like your chances.
And this is a Wright State team. They felt like they challenged themselves in the non-conference. Figured this would be the toughest challenge on the road at an ACC school. But they were not home for a long time as Sebron finally puts one in. This is a battle-tested team on the road specifically. They started at home opening night November 9th, then 7 straight games away from home, some true road, some neutral. Didn't come back home until December 15th at Dayton.
Yeah, we've talked about it earlier. This is a veteran-laden team. You know, Wright State's played in a lot of big games. There's not a lot of freshmen out there.
Push underneath. Duwana fouling Basili. Coach Nagy was generous with his time talking to us and used the word frustrated. I mean, at 3-7, that's not where they expected they would be, no matter how tough the schedule is.
We've talked to some coaches over the years, very honest about his assessment of where his team was, but they certainly have come to play tonight.
Banky gets a 3-ball to drop.
Okay, they do such a nice job of putting the ball down and finding the open shooter. We like to say they share the sugar.
They got a sweet tooth right now. Shooting 51%. Sebron tapped by Duwana, and that's a nice cleanup.
Duwana did a good job. His man went over to help out on Sebron, and he didn't give up on the play. I tell you, they're doing a great job on Sebron. As he penetrates, they're backing up and just trying to meet him at the rim.
A reverse at the other side to Finke with 12 to shoot, driving on Sebron, drops it down in, Holden, oh, it rolled. Wright State shot 50% in the first half. They've shot it even better here in the second stanza. The lead now 12. See what Cam Hayes, who was scoreless tonight. He's got 1 assist as the starting point guard for NC State. Needed that one, doesn't fall, but there's an offensive rebound. Offensive foul. Holden lets you know which way that one's going.
No question, good call there. Sebron a little frustrated. I tell you, the way Wright State is playing, it's the way Virginia plays defense. Everything is, it's at the basket. We're not going to give you anything easy. If you want to shoot and beat us over the top, that's fine. NC State's going to have to knock down some threes in order to get back in the game.
They're just 4 of 17 tonight from the bonus sphere. Holden drives Helms. Braun with a little elbow jumper, extended, no. And that's Cam Hayes' game right there.
Very pretty, under control, came off the pick and roll, didn't go too deep, hit the short one.
Wright State against NC State's pressure, they got to take care of the ball. They do, and if you can break the press, you can get some easy layups.
A great pass. They got the ball to the center of the court, and Evie Dewana was a little bit too high. An easy bucket.
Good job by Keaton Norris that time. He's guarding Hayes right now. And he fouls Helms.
Okay, we're coming up on the 10-minute mark. NC State needs to find an answer first on the defensive end, and on the offensive end, they're going to have to knock down some threes because the way Wright State's playing is just backing off.
And you see the foul count, and that's going to help the Raiders quite a bit. And they're already in the bonus. Step back from Hayes. He saw that floater go down. He had 4 threes last time out against Richmond.
He hit a couple shots, the basket gets a lot bigger. And I'll tell you, it'd be no better time for NC State to see Cam Hayes heated up.
Ernest Ross seeing some minutes here with Dewana out, and Basili can't score on him.
A Power 5 conference, and that's not been the case here with Wright State.
And I think you look back to what they did last year. They went 16-4 in the Horizon League, a team that would have won 20 games had it been a more normal schedule. They went 18-6, but were disappointed. Lost in the Horizon League quarterfinals to Milwaukee, but again, they got 9 first-place votes in the Horizon League. Tough shot for Hayes. Not this time. And so this is a team that had high expectations, had some head-scratching losses. I mean, this team lost to Akron by 18 at home.
Yeah, Purdue beat them by close to 40.
But they've been on the road or on neutral sites. They've been away from home, tough environments. And they look battle-tested tonight. And this is their best game that they've played this season.
They've got a lot of veterans out there, and they just haven't clicked, but they have come here tonight clicking on all cylinders.
And when you have veterans like that, your eyes have to light up a little bit when you get to come on the road against an ACC team that's lost 2 straight.
Oh, no doubt. When you're a freshman, you're not looking, oh, big shot. When you're a freshman, you're not real excited about going on the road, but when you're a junior or senior, that's why you sign up to play.
So Smith hit the 3, cuts it to 8. He's got 25 points. Oh, but that's a huge answer as Smith fell down, and Calvin, when the guy falls down, you got to hit it, and he does.
You got to at least shoot it. I tell you, they do a nice job of getting the ball inside, outside, and then swinging it. Their offense has been very deliberate and patient.
It's a good look for Hayes, but this NC State team not seeing three-pointers fall. Shooting right at about their season average. They're at 29%. Average 30% for the year.
Very patient, running the shot clock down. They're getting exactly what they want to get.
Smith nearly a steal, but Calvin gets to that free throw line jumper. And a chance for a run out the other way. They designed and built the plane in Dayton, Ohio, flew to Kitty Hawk, North Carolina. Conditions were nice, had a little breeze behind them, and the first manned flight.
I remember reading about that when I was in 2nd grade about 45 years ago.
Thought you were going to say, I know you weren't in 2nd grade when they flew it.
No.
10-point lead for Wright State. And Basili will go to the line to shoot 2. And it's just more of the same for the Raiders. I think they've got the formula figured out in this game, and they're going to keep going with it, because why go away from it? It's working. Heavy
doses of exactly what they want. They're in control. You know, NC State normally is kind of dictating the tempo and dictating. Right now, Wright State on the offensive end is getting exactly what they want. They're looking at matchups. They're going inside to Basili. NC State's going to have to turn it up and try to get the momentum going, but you know, they're digging a hole down 12.
So under 7 minutes to play, the lead back up to 12. And on this end, NC State's got to knock down some threes, and that's really what the Raiders are daring them to do. They haven't been able to do it.
They're not giving them anything easy. They're going to see this defense the rest of the year, because they're not going to let players like Sebron penetrate and get all the way to the rim. They're collapsing and making it very difficult.
That is the first turnover of the second half for the Raiders.
They've done a great job. They had 9 turnovers in the first half. That's the first one, and we're 6:26 left in the game. That's been a big part. NC State generally turns over their opponent. They have not done that to Wright State tonight.
They had 11 first half points on the break. Tough shot for Ross, and it falls.
He's a great athlete. He's a freshman. He's got a huge upside. It's good to see him get one to fall. But the NC State coaching staff's extremely excited about his future.
Well, all the reports are that, especially in the last several weeks of practice, I mean, he is getting better and better and better. They expect for him to play a lot more minutes in the second half of the year. Tremendous athlete and getting some valuable minutes here. And once again, I think the question is, you know, Wright State's at 73 points already. How many stops can NC State get down the stretch?
That's the thing. They've got to get stops. Offensively, they just can't match them at this point.
And that's a blocking foul on Norris. Just a second on Norris, and the 4th team foul.
Look to see if NC State scores. You're going to see extreme pressure. They've really got to get something going.
Big rebound for Ross. And we've got a foul called. An overrule, because initially that was going to be Raider basketball.
Yep. Came in from the top. Tell you, a great hustle play by Ernest Ross here. Just really went after him. I mean, that's the upside that you see. He's a great athlete, can really get off the floor. And NC State, happy to see some positive minutes from Ross.
Officials tonight, Tony Henderson, John Gaffney, and Chance Moore. Straight line drive for Sebron. There's Ross again. He got a tip to it. Couldn't put it back in.
Again, Wright State very comfortable, just working their offense. They're going to try to get exactly what they want.
This is a team that came into tonight ranked number 195 in the country, according to Ken Palm. They haven't looked like a 200 team tonight. He never lets it affect his defense. His defense is consistent night in, night out. And yeah, you know, they have put Holden on Sebron, perhaps maybe because of the back spasms on Finke. They said they were going to start there, but you know, whether it's been Finke or Holden, they've for the most part kept Sebron in check. This will be NC State basketball as Basili took it out of Ross's hands.
Again, you know, Ross going to the glass. You know, the last 4 possessions that NC State's had, Ernest Ross has made a positive impact.
He's bouncy. Smith has 27 points. The freshman continuing to extend his career high. And now a steal for Hayes. No, right into Norris's hands.
Very fortunate break for Wright State there. It looked like NC State had a turnover.
Well, they're going to need to force some turnovers down the stretch here.
Yeah,
so we need 4 minutes to play.
You need stops and turnovers.
And that's where you don't want to pick up your dribble if you're Calvin. Showtime for Ross.
We haven't seen a whole lot of that tonight with NC State with steals and getting out with easy buckets, but that's a good way to start the last 4 minutes.
Once again, Calvin picks up it. Wright State leads NC State by 10 as we come down the stretch here with Chris Corciani. I'm Andrew Sanders. Ernest Ross will try a three. Halfway down and back out.
It's a good-looking shot. Just didn't fall, in and out.
How about the confidence by Ross? He hasn't played a whole lot this year to take that shot. It's a good-looking stroke.
Wright State's not going to be in any hurry right now. They're going to run the clock all the way down.
Got it in their best scorer's hands. This is Holden. Double team comes, nearly thrown away. Think he's got 2 to shoot. This is good if it goes. They ran all the time off on that possession, but NC State got the defensive stop. Now here's Sebron freelancing.
He just has not been able to get all the way to the bucket, to the spot he wants to get.
Forcing Helms into a tough runner from the baseline. And this is going to determine the game here. How well can Norris and the Raiders handle the pressure the rest of the way? That's a 10-second call.
You know, we said earlier how well they handled the ball and they weren't turning over. Here in the last couple minutes, they have coughed it up a few times. It may be, for NC State, too little too late, but they're going to need a few more of those turnovers.
3 turnovers in the last 2 minutes and change for Wright State. Sebron attacking, huge block from Basili. That was with emphasis. And a 3-on-2 if they want it. Calvin says, why run any clock? A dagger of a 3.
That's only a good shot if you make it. But wide open, knocked it down.
Well, he's got 17 points now, and NC State desperate for an answer. Sebron, only his 3rd.
Right here, Andrew, they're going to turn it up. They're going to go for a steal. They might even foul early in the possession.
They put the ball in Calvin's hands now. Nearly a backcourt violation. Helps that Basili's 6'9" to rise up and grab that one.
Well, this is where you're very fortunate having those upperclassmen.
There's
team plan against NC State's been phenomenal.
8 to shoot for Holden and the Raiders. Swatted by Ross. And this is what, again, reports are he's giving them in practice. He's starting to see more minutes. Sebron misses the layup.
They got a foul.
And they do.
They've been gritty. You know, they hung around. They could have folded late in the first half, but they came out the second half fighting. And NC State hasn't had an answer for them.
To the free throw line goes Trey Calvin. 83% shooter, the best on this Raider team.
He has really dictated the game, both on the offensive and defense side, but offensively he's just been smart and very poised.
Had 28 points against Cleveland State in the loss, their only Horizon League loss. And he's got 19 points tonight. And so they've got a number of guys who can score it, whether it's Basili or Calvin, Holden. NC State running too much clock here.
They need a quick one. They don't have time.
Don't really have to have a 3. And that's an empty possession that will probably just about do it here.
Yeah, you've got to score quick. It doesn't have to be a 3. You just need to score quick. And now they need to get a quick foul. As soon as the ball goes in, it's got to be a foul. Got to get them.
You hear the PA announcement, 1 minute. Clock stops 59.1. And the Raiders trying to ice this game on the free throw line. obviously the field goal percentage disparity, and a big reason is, one, Wright State they've made more outside shots. They've shot better from three, but points in the paint, that's where your easy buckets come from, and they've gotten more of them.
They've gotten a lot of the easy buckets, just backing down, hitting shots. They've executed real nice, both on the offensive end, finding open shooters, really passing the ball extremely well, and on the defensive end, they've had a great game plan.
Pull up from Hayes, off to the right. And what an exclamation point this is for Wright State to close out their non-conference schedule.
This will make Christmas morning a little special for Coach Nagy and the Wright State team.
Another bucket for Basili just to add to it. He's got 23. That's one of the only easy shots that Sebron has gotten tonight.
He has not had many, I'll tell you that.
We'll see if NC State chooses to foul. Down 14 here. And they will not. The clock hits 0, and Wright State